Yahoo! We're restarting. We're starting at a reasonable time. See, my brain skips a couple words forward. For once, no lights on. I do already have a item for Squeers and I tomorrow, though. Right there. You guys are gonna like it. I know that for sure. Like, how do you know that? Well, let's just give you a little hint. Basic 4, or Basic 4, Basic 5. What comes after that? We're running the Ubiquity router now. Things are zipping and going great. Actually, probably only took me 30 minutes or less for that initial setup. Do not mind being back on a platform I'm familiar with. And I took care of setup that I hadn't done in years in mere minutes. Not saying you can't do it on, and to clarify, I wasn't on pfSense, I was on OPN Sense or OpenSense, which supports newer hardware, especially if you're going 10 gig, probably go OpenSense, especially if you're using those Aquania chips. I'd recommend pulling it up for Intel though. So this is for tomorrow. Worked a little bit late. Let me get some shit set up. But we're still starting this a little early, right? Here's a little hint on something that's coming as well. This came in just before the tariffs. Mere days. So I was trying to see here, 8/18, and I think 8/30 is when those ended. We got 2 videos gonna be back to back. This box, you guys probably already saw that it came in. I was looking for my knife. Use this one. Tactical keychains just announced they have stopped taking pre-orders for the TK Stash, which I colloquially call the Tuck XXL. Yeah. Imagine a Tuck that can hold blades like this, but then also have 2 replacements in there. So probably going to be about yay big. You know, somewhere in this range. Give you a little bit more leverage too. But they're going to start production of the first run of the TK Stash. And they announced that they will be making a brass one. I think I might have to break this off pretty soon. It's starting to not cut very well. So can't wait for that to come in. I got a big order there. Will I get the brass one? I don't know. I've always gotten... I have 3 variants of copper. I might message them and be like, hey, you're doing brass. Do you think you're going to do copper? Because if they're not going to do copper, I might get brass. By the way, you notice how this thing's been fixed ever since I put a DeWalt, like a standard blade in there, not the one with a hole in from Fiskars. Yeah, these really don't like those blades for whatever reason. We got a big order here. This is from Canon Keys. I've heard of them before. This was the only place that I could get myself some of these bad boys. Or girls, or bad switches. These bad switches here. Not the B word. Switch. Not, you know. Pack of 30-something, I believe. These are specifically the naiveties. Did I get that right? EC electrocapacitive. What does that mean? They're individual top ray switches. You know, like, apparently they gave me a free Cherry MX. Yeah, this is how many? 35. So it's 35 a pop in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep. So 35. There you go. So they're basically packaged like, you know, like your Cherry MX would be. And I got 2 packs of 35 because a Happy Hacking keyboard is a 60% board with some extra keys and some shorter keys. Then, since I was placing the order, I tend to do this. If there's like an optional thing, even if I don't think I'm going to use it, because I like the tactileness of a Happy Hacking keyboard. Excuse me. For example, I got a Snow Type S right here. You know, and the fact that the we want to call it the what do they call it? That's the hybrid, because the wireless one. Studio. The fact that the Studio here doesn't uses, I think, a linear Cherry MX style switches. Also, I think, like, I like this. Some guys or gals in Japan made better caps to go on those that make it less in the way, but this additional chin room here causes issues with my typing style. Whereas, you know, something like this, the Q60 Max wireless guy, no problemos. And you can see the chin is a little bit bigger than at least the current Happy Hacking keyboard. Oh, what did I hit? And I can use linears. One of the Q60s actually has reds in it. I'll admit, though, that wasn't by choice. That was due to... I want to wake the frick up. That was due to the fact that I don't join any group buys for keyboards really anymore, and I just wait until they're just available, which then usually means I don't get my choice pick of models, right? But I did buy 235 packs of the linear domes just in case I want to give that a try. I also don't know how popular these are going to be. Anytime anything top right, like, there are people that back it and are willing to spend a bunch of good money on it, but you never see, like, there'll be like a batch of cases to modify a Happy Hacking keyboard. There'll be like a batch of keycaps here and there, and then that batch has to last like until they run out. Or like the Domi key, they only did that, but they still have a couple designs of those Domi keys left, because that's like a lot of people that buy Happy Hacking keyboards and or real force-based boards tend to not customize them either, because it's like, and that's kind of why I like them, is because you just buy them, take them out of the box, slap them on there, and run them. You know what I mean? But I got 2 packs, 35. There shouldn't be able to be anything wrong with them either. You're like, what do you mean by that? Well, they're capacitive. So the actuation of these, so there's an MX compatible stem and MX compatible housing. From what I can tell is most PCBs are incompatible though, but some plates can be compatible. Then they show a magnet in there. But all the sensing bits of this are done on the PCB, which isn't in this video. It'll be in the next one, because this is kind of I had to order the keyboard from one place. That place, coming out of China, did not have like the required switches and everything like that. You could buy the whole kit, but you know, nothing else. One thing I did buy, and it might be a bit overkill for a 60%, is this Canon Keys specific. It's actually metal. Really nice handle. Rubber flexi handle. That's a little window. You can, like, normally you'd see that on luggage for like a business card. In this case, you could probably put the model of the keyboard, make a little paper insert there. As I'm drooling a little bit, literally. Yeah, it is a Canon Keys. This is the small, so it's the 60, 65, 75, and you're like, well, how do you fit all those sizes? You just had a Q60, and like it's way smaller than a 75%. Yes and no. I mean, like, this has got some borders. It's pretty chonk, you know. That's not what's going. Oh God, this thing. It's not light. I don't want to huff that around every day. Hoof, that's the correct word there. So this is gray. It is a little bit darker than what Canon Keys pictures are. That might be because they're looking at it straight on with a very bright light, with sort of off to the side lighting with my singular OT light over here, and just kind of room. I wouldn't call it bright, but you know, we're kind of on the lowness of brightness for ambient lighting for cameras, especially smartphone cameras. But it got more of a gunmetal than a gray color. And I know gunmetal is probably like a color gray, but like, you know, one interesting thing is I thought that these poles were supposed to be blue with the Canon Keys logo. Yeah. Interesting. Some slight differences. Oh, this foam smells like foam, that's for sure. Woo. So you got some Velcro straps to strap them in. And then most importantly, what you have here is some adjustable foam. Right? So that's how they can say, I would say this actually even goes down to a 40% keyboard. That's what that looks to me. I would have to get my GH60 out and see if it, in the poker case it would just fit in there. But I think it even a 60% is probably taller than what's shown, or like this way, you know. So, but what you do is you basically they have all these spacers in here. Remove the ones you don't need. So we'll have to see once I build the keyboard that goes in here. But I always like having a case, especially because I have plenty of keyboards now. I was not able to get a Keychron case for my second Q60 because they were out of stock at the time of ordering. So I might go with a what's that one brand I use for headphones? Geekria, I think it is. I might go with one of those for the other Q60 case, because I really don't want to. Well, now it'd be shipping and tariffs just to get a case. Maybe if I end up ordering another Keychron at some point, or they make another updated Q60. You got some foam on the back side of this as well. I mean, this thing looks solid. It's a hard shell too, hard shell EVA. Nice kind of spring return rubber handle. Metal tabs on there, I already showed you that. Seems quality, like I would have no problem carrying this outside of a backpack, you know, or it's, I'd say it's on the bigger side to fit in there. It would probably fit in mine, but just. Oh, Paisley came. Paisley Marie, did you bring your bag? Yeah? Did you bring your bag? Yeah. How's Paisley? Yeah. Is that your bag? Can I throw it? No, I can't. I can't throw it. Why'd you bring it then? If I can't. Okay, you want to help out? Let's go. Alright, so that's really it for this video. Once we actually have the size of the case for the keyboard, we will rip out the pieces of foam and make sure it fits in there real nice like. And the other thing is it's good that this has a mesh pocket up top, because the keyboard that will be going in here, that will be using these EC switches, and the EC is electrocapacitive. They're basically, like I said, like, think Cherry Max individual switch versions of a Topper switch. Somebody actually spent the time to do that. Kind of crazy if you ask me. It's wired, I believe, so I'll need a cable. I don't know what cable I'll steal for now, but probably one of the mouse cables. I literally have almost put away like those. Like I stole one of the Vaxi ones for my trackball as well. Yeah. That or crap. What was that one that was pretty decent? That Sony one that just came for this mouse. If you guys, the mouse A from Sony's Inzone line, kind of classic Sony logo on it. Maybe I'll go with that for now. But I'll have a place to put it in here. All right. On to the next box. But for that, you're going to need the next video. Right, Paisley Marie? Oh, you're getting tired? Are you getting tired, Paisley? Oh no, what's this? Oh! I think you win. You got me good. Yeah, you got me good. Miss Paisley or Marie with her bell always sideways. Check out the next video where we actually unbox the kit all of these accessories are going to be for. Yeah, and Canon Keys did send over like one little brown switch with a different color brown slider. If you guys know which type that is, throw it down below in the comments. Questions and comments as always. You know, we're going to see if I can break myself of that happy hacking keyboard habit. Probably not. It's been multiple decades at this point, I think. Or soon to be. Decade and a half. At least.